Vasistha continued. Sukra had completely forgotten his previous identity. After spending some time in the court of Indra, Sukra roamed the heaven and soon discovered the whereabouts of the nymph he had seen. When they looked at each other, they were overcome by desire for each other. For wish fulfillment is a characteristic of heaven. Sukra wished for the darkness of night to envelop the pleasure garden where he met the nymph. So it was dark. Sukra then entered the beautiful rest house in that garden. The nymph followed. She pleaded, "Great one, I am tormented by desire for you. Only the dull-witted deride love, not the wise ones. Even the lordship of the three worlds is nothing compared to the delight of the company of the loved one. Hence, pray, give me shelter in your heart." Saying so, she collapsed on his chest. Sukra spent a very long time with that nymph, roaming at will in heaven. He lived with that nymph for a period equal to 8 world cycles. After this length of time, as if his merit had been exhausted, Sukra fell from heaven, along with that nymph. When their subtle bodies fell on earth, they became dewdrops, which entered food grains, which were eaten by a holy brahmana, from whom his wife received their essence. So that this is the belief that the subtle body of a departed soul enters into the male through the food. Sukra became their son. He grew up there. The nymph had become a female deer, and Sukra begot through her a human child. He became greatly attached to this son. Worries and anxieties caused by this child soon aged Sukra, and he died longing for pleasures. On account of this, Sukra became the ruler of a kingdom in the next birth, and he died to that embodiment, longing for a life of austerity and holiness. In the next birth he became a holy man. Thus, after passing from one embodiment to another and enduring all manner of destinies, Sukra practiced intense austerity, standing firm on the bank of a river. Thus, contemplating while seated in front of his father, Sukra spent a long time. His body had become extremely emaciated. In the meantime, the restless mind created scene after scene of successive lifespans, birth and death, ascent to heaven and descent to earth, and the peaceful life of a hermit. He was so immersed in these that he regarded them as the truth. The body had been reduced to skin and bone, for it had been assailed by the inclemencies of every type of weather. It appeared terribly frightening even to look at. Yet it was not consumed by carnivorous beasts, as it stood right in front of the sage Bhrgu, who was engaged in deep meditation, and as Sukra himself had endowed it with psychic strength through the practice of yogic discipline. Vasistha continued. After 100 celestial years of contemplation, the sage Bhrgu got up from his seat. He did not see his son Sukra in front of him, but saw the dried up body. The body appeared hideous, an abode of worms, which, dwelling in the eye sockets, had multiplied very fast indeed. Deeply concerned with what he saw, and without really reflecting over the natural course of events, Bhrgu was filled with rage, and resolved to curse time for thus causing the untimely death of his son. Time, or death, instantly approached the sage in physical form. Time had a sword in one hand and a noose in the other. He had impenetrable armour. He had 6 arms and 6 faces. He was surrounded by a host of his servants and messengers. He was radiant with the flames of destruction that emanated from his body and from the weapons he held in his hands. Calmly and in an unfaltering voice, Time thus addressed Bhrgu. O sage, how is it that such a wise sage as you are contemplates such unworthy conduct? Wise men are not upset even when they are offended. Yet you have lost your balance of mind, even though no one has offended you. You are indeed an adorable person, and I am one of those who strictly adhere to the appropriate mode of behaviour. Hence I salute you, not with any other motive. Do not waste your merit in useless exhibition of your power to curse. Know that I am unaffected even by the fires of cosmic dissolution. How childish of you to hope to destroy me with your curse. I am time, and I have destroyed countless beings, even the gods who preside over this universe. Holy One, I am the consumer, and you are our food. This indeed is ordained by nature. This relationship is not based on mutual likes or dislikes. Fire, by its very nature, flames upward, and water naturally flows down. Food seeks the consumer, and created objects seek their end. This is how it has been ordained by the Lord. In the self of all, the self dwells as itself. To the purified vision, there is neither a doer nor an enjoyer. But to the unpurified vision, which sees division, such a division seems to exist. You are indeed a knower of truth, and you know that there is neither doership nor non-doership here. Yeah, we can get caught up in these ideas of doership and non-doership. What is the doer? But again, it's just another categorization. Creatures come and go like flowers on trees. Their causation is naught else than conjecture. All these are attributed to time. This can be considered real or unreal. For when the surface of the lake is agitated, the reflection of the moon seems to be agitated. This can be considered both true and false. Yeah, I suppose you could argue that the moon is always shining so it doesn't get agitated, but the reflection appears to be agitated when the water is agitated.